Welcome into Players Club, live from John's Grill. Maggie, Hale, and Courtney Stockhaus here, your host as always. And next to us, we've got some football boys this week, Keagan, Cunningham, and Joe Laterza. I'm going to start us out with a question that we didn't plan before. You know exactly where this is going, Keagan. So you are coined the dancing frog because of the TikTok videos you made in the locker room. Talk to me about this. Where was your head at when this whole idea started?
Yeah, okay, so it was media day last year when we decided to film this dancing video. Me, Bud Clark, this guy DeArco Perkins, we just decided we were gonna, make a fun video, film this dancing frog video, and we posted it onto TikTok, and it kind of just caught fire.
Caught fire is a small word. I think it went very viral. It exploded. Meme pages picked it up.
Yes, many pages, ESPN, a few news channels, it was everywhere.
Yes.
We had a lot of articles written about us, basically kind of slandering us a little bit.
Yeah.
But because we didn't have as great of a year as we wanted to the year before. However, after we started winning this last year, it kind of picked up even more.
Yeah.
And people would start to post it after, and it really became kind of a iconic video for everybody to post after the game that we would win. And we really enjoyed that. It just kind of showed how we can have fun while also being serious and playing, even though at the beginning it wasn't viewed as too likable. But now it's great. It's a great thing. You see people across campus and they say, "Oh, it's the dancing frog," and they say that to the other people who were in it.
Like that?
I mean, I don't not like it. I don't like it. It is
what it is. You brought it
is.
Upon yourself.
Exactly. And now it's just a thing that's there, and it's cool. It's a lot of fun to look at occasionally.
I love it, absolutely.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but the dancing frogs are back, right? As of last week, the dancing frogs are officially back in town.
Dancing frogs are back. They posted that just last week again, and I guess you could say they're back.
Are we going to see an updated video?
You might after this interview. Maybe we'll make another one.
Okay, I would love to see an updated video. And Joe, sometimes you get a little active on social media. Not many people know this, but you're a very smart guy. You're very philosophical.
I appreciate that.
Talk to me. How does being smart translate kind of to football? Like, how do you think that kind of changes your view on football?
That's interesting to put. I guess one thing I could say, I'm not one of the strongest or fastest guys in the world.
You said it.
I did say it, and you could see it. But when it comes to football, when it comes to whether it's running routes or executing different plays, the fact that I like to use my brain
Football
to help.
IQ.
Yes, I like to use my brain to help put myself ahead where my speed puts me a little shorter than, say, as we mentioned before, Bud Clark and even Keagan Cunningham with his wheels too. Absolutely,
I love it. And where did this kind of start? You just started posting one day. You were like, whatever, like.
Oh,
I've got a lot to say.
Yeah. Okay. Honestly, where it started was, and this is something that, of course, I get teased a lot about, but I wrote poetry. I started actually that in middle school, and then I remember, I think it might have been my mom or maybe some of my friends just telling me that I should post it.
Yeah.
And I started doing it. Of course, getting made fun of for a little bit for that. I mean, I'm a dude. That just happens.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, but. The more I did it, actually, some people started to appreciate it. And really, I liked it. It was fun to express myself in that way. So that's kind of where it originated. And since then, took off from there.
I appreciate them. Just so you know, I have a moment of self-reflection every time I see a post.
That means a lot to hear.
Let's go ahead and get into why you guys chose TCU.
Yeah, okay, so I was kind of on the fence for a little bit between which school I wanted to go to.
Between what schools?
I was between TCU and SMU at the end. I, of course, thought about some other schools before, but it came down to those two. My brother, actually, my little brother, had always loved TCU. He was the TCU fanatic in our family. And so he was like, man, you got to go to TCU. Like, we just have to. And it was on my list, too, but it wasn't as high as it was for him. Well, he ended up, really, really wanted me to go. And so I toured and I looked at it and I was like, okay, this might be the spot for me. And then after I realized football was going to work out and things like that, and I just decided to go here. And it's honestly the best decision that I could have made. I love it so much. I'm so glad that I picked it. And I would never go back. That I really just kind of one day decided like this is the place for me. And yeah, I love it.
Joe?
So My journey here was a very long one, a lot of ups and downs, and really throughout the whole thing, I was not sure at all where I was going to go and if I was going to get an opportunity that I really wanted to in the football world. But thankfully, I was a very, very late recruit. At like the last minute, I was all but committed to actually UPenn, and then my financials came back for that, and it was double of what they promised me. They told me it was going to be half that, and Ivy League, doesn't give athletic scholarships or anything, so I couldn't even earn money off there. But then in the last minute, TCU came and they offered me a spot. I got an academic scholarship here too, so really, it was kind of like a godsend. I got a great place to go to at the last second, so I'm happy I went here too. Yeah, I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
Academically, what are your guys' majors?
I am an entrepreneurship major.
I'm a marketing major.
Marketing?
Yeah.
What's your minors?
I don't have a minor.
I have a few actually. I'm a criminal justice minor.
Okay.
I'm gonna do there's like a sales program, which is kind of like
yeah.
a minor, and then I'm also gonna take on a history minor soon. As you can tell, I don't really know what I want to do with my future,
Yeah.
so I'm kind of diversifying.
Okay. How do you guys balance like the academic life and football life?
Painfully, it's not too easy. I mean, especially like other kids, they get the chance they can sleep in, they can start studying for their classes at like 9 a.m. But like we're there for however many hours in the day at the facility. But I mean, a good way to just balance it really is just I try to do little at a time and not like cram too much in. So like just like 15 minutes every day of each class. That makes it a lot easier, but it's definitely tough. It's not something for the lighthearted.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Joe said, we have very strenuous hours playing football. And then after that, we go to class for lots of hours of the day. And then after that, we're focusing on football again for some more of it. And so you really have to fit in football in school when you can. I mean, even if it's 30 minutes of studying here and there at a random table in a John's Grill, for example, you just get it in where you can, and it ends up working out. And you just have to be really dedicated to learning and football to be able to do them both.
After college, what is the plan with these majors?
So being an entrepreneurship major, there's a lot of different outlets that I could pursue, and I'm not exactly sure what I want to do yet, but something.
Maybe a dancing company?
Maybe a dancing company.
I'm going to slide this in every time.
Now, you think dancing. What about singing?
We can do both.
A lot of people don't know I actually am a singer and guitarist. I play in Fort Worth.
Can we hear a song?
I mean, maybe.
Like right now.
Can you
Right
give
now.
us
Yeah.
like just like a 20, 25?
Just do a little like
He is very good.
So here's what we can do. Backstreet Boys, I think we need a duet.
oh,
instead
no,
of
no, no,
just
no,
saying-
no. I can't sing. I have a band.
him.
Wow.
Oh, yes, you two.
I think he
Oh
knows
yeah,
himself.
no, not us.
We can
you
get
guys
a-
go ahead though.
I mean, if you really want, we can
I
get
think
a
it was.
few
I
seconds.
think it was them.
That break, and then we come back with you guys singing.
It's a great idea. I like that
Okay,
idea.
We're gonna table this and come back to it.
Okay.
Good
Joe,
deal, good
what are
deal.
you hoping to do with it?
So kind of remarked on it earlier, but I really don't know. I'd love to find something with writing. Like I kind of mentioned earlier with poetry, like writing is one of my big passions. But past that, I am still looking, but I want to find something that is fulfilling and meaningful for me and my passion.
I kind of cut you off there. Sorry. What were you gonna say? You talked about singing.
Oh,
And I cut you off.
Oh, no worries. I mean, I was just going to talk about how I plan on auditioning for American Idol.
Really? Oh, that's all you were gonna
when
say.
are you gonna do that?
Right
How does
after
this plan in the books?
Not officially yet, but
Okay.
it's been, planned for years now. I used to watch it at home with my family growing up, and I decided one day, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to do this after I graduate college.
So football is your side quest?
No, if I could go pro in football, that's the plan. But obviously, you have to think about other things too, and
Yeah.
I love singing. It's my other passion with football. And so I definitely want to try to pursue that.
Do you prefer the coaches to sing the plays to you?
If they could, they probably would. I would love to sing the national anthem. We'll get it on record now.
Really? I'm sure we can make that happen. We have a
some-
special friend, Mr. Athletic Director. I'm sure that he would love to make that happen.
Yeah.
That would be pretty sweet. We'll see it.
Are you stuck on American Idol or maybe like America's Got Talent and do like a dancing and a singing number?
That is
I think
smart.
that would be good.
Would it be the Dancing Frog video with me singing?
Yeah.
Like up in like the back and then you're singing to that video.
Maybe. that'd be a good idea. We might have to think about that.
I think so.
I like that. Absolutely. I love it. So then you, Joe, are coming from a little bit far, Illinois. Talk about that transition.
Oh yeah, it was definitely hard. Especially like the first summer being here, our first summer camp. It was not having any of my family here, alone with like guys. There was one guy on the team from Illinois. I was the only other one. So that was kind of rough. But I mean, I got more and more comfortable, and it was all right. The plane ride isn't too bad. It's only like 2.5 hours, but the car ride's like 15 hours. So thankfully to my mom, I'm not making too many car rides. She lets me take the plane.
And you're from Denton, not too far from here, about an hour. Is it any different over there?
It's a little bit different. I mean, you would know. You're from near me, but growing up in Denton, I really loved it. There was a lot to do. Rival schools, we were able to play football against. It was amazing. But I really
Prosper.
But I really enjoy being close to home. You can go visit your family, go have meals with your family pretty often. Just kind of go and be with them. And it's really nice to be close. And that's also one of the reasons I picked TCU, because I mean, I'm able to go back and I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And what age would you say you guys started playing?
I started playing football in 7th grade. My parents wouldn't let me.
Oh.
Yeah.
8.
What age is that? What age is 7th grade?
Age is
like 13, 12?
I think so.
I think
12?
it's 12.
I think it's 12. But yeah, my parents wouldn't let me play until I was in 7th grade because they didn't want me to get hurt. They were worried about it. My dad played in college, and he was like, you know what? I don't want to risk it too early, so we're going to wait till you're in middle school when school football starts. And so that's when I started.
I actually heard that the Mannings did that to Arch Manning too. So you know what? You're in good company. So when did you start playing?
Yeah, my parents threw me right into it. I think like in preschool, I was playing on flag football teams.
Sanctioned or on the playground?
Both.
Okay.
Yes.
Playground football.
Yes, playground football was classic. And then I started tackle football. I remember begging my parents, and they were pretty quick to let me go in. Again, they threw me right into it. I think after 1st grade, going into 2nd, that's when I started. So basically 2nd grade.
That's when it picked up.
Which, how old is that? I think that's like
what, 7?
7, 8?
something like that. I was young. I was one of the youngest on the team too, but it was fun. I'm happy I did.
So starting then, 7th grade or whatever, and 7th, whatever you just said, who were your role models growing up, and then who are your role models now, football-wise, family-wise, maybe one of each?
Okay. So growing up, I mean, my role models probably like a lot of people are their mom and dad. My mom and dad were both great. They set great examples for me. They taught me how to act. They taught me what to do the right ways, and I really appreciate them for that. Football-wise, it was always my dad. Like I said, he played football, and he knows how it goes. So he was able to coach me, and he really taught me the hard work and dedication aspect of it. And my mom was always there for me, and I really appreciated that. Football-wise now, I would say we have, great role models in our own program. We have Kaz Kazadi and Coach Dykes who set great examples for our program, and I'm sure you've heard lots about them, but they came in and they did amazing things, and so we really look up to them and their goals, and they do a great job.
I've heard about them a little.
For me personally, of course, my family has supported me throughout the whole way. Couldn't do it without them. I think my dad would appreciate, when I was young, I was obsessed with Brian Urlacher, who is this real meathead linebacker for the Bears, the Chicago Bears. And because of that, I loved him so much. I was a little bit of a menace growing up. I would try to tackle my sisters and my brothers. All older than me. I was
you write
practicing
poems.
24/7.
Yes.
We've come a long way.
There's been a big transition. But I think more recently as I grew up, one of the big inspirations I had, again, my whole family was really important for my development, but my oldest brother, his name's Frank, he went through a lot of hardships. He was actually probably the best football player in our family, but he went through some knee surgeries a few times in his career, ACL, meniscus, MCL, all that. And so, he had every reason to give up, but he didn't stop. Stuff would happen to him. His first game of his senior year, first game of his college freshman year. But he ended up being I think, D3 college All-American his senior year after however many surgeries, which is just amazing to me. So, yeah, I would say he's a pretty big inspiration for me in my college career.
Okay, so we started a little young, we started a little late. So you haven't had as much time to switch around positions, but have you guys always played your positions?
I've always played my position, but in middle school and high school freshman year, I also played defense, and I can confidently say I cannot do that now.
Okay.
But
it was Travis Hunter action, yeah.
Maybe a little bit, but I enjoy defense, but I decided sophomore year of high school, I was like, I love catching the ball.
You want to score.
Yes. I love catching the ball, and I love being on offense, and I decided sophomore year that I was going to stick to it, and I did, and
it worked out for you.
Yeah, it has. I'm here now. So.
A little.
Yeah, I was a lineman like my whole career up until actually same as you that you said sophomore of high school was your turning point. Same for me. I was always that, and then at one point, I honestly was like, why am I doing this? I'm not that big, and plus I can catch the ball, and that's way more fun. So that's kind of when it kicked into me that I should probably make a change.
Did you guys play other sports in high school?
Yes, I played a lot of sports in high school. I played football, I played baseball, basketball. I ran track. I did a lot of things, and actually, for majority of my life before football, obviously I didn't start till 7th grade. I wanted to be a baseball player. I played travel baseball forever. And then again, it was that sophomore year I've kind of flipped and realized that I wanted to play football, and I wanted to stick my mind onto football and stay there. And so I played all the sports, and I loved them, but now it's just football.
You did all of this at Denton Ryan?
Yes.
When did you have time to sleep?
There wasn't a lot. We would have practices in the morning for most things, and so we'd have school, and then in the afternoon you'd come home and do homework. But just like every other high school, people do sport, as much sports as they can, and I enjoyed it. I was able to fit it all in. So
how does that work if like the seasons overlap?
That was the thing. So there was a year where we went really far in, actually there are a couple of years we went far in the playoffs for football, and it overlaps with basketball. So 2 years we ended up playing football through whenever we played, and then we would miss like the first 3 tournaments and maybe first season game of basketball. And the coaches, I'm really appreciative because a lot of high school coaches, they make you pick one sport.
Yeah.
But ours were super supportive, and they let us play all those different sports, even though they overlapped and we weren't able to make some things. They allowed us to do it, and it was really nice. So there is some overlap, but it worked out where I went to school.
Joe, did you play any other sports in high school?
Yeah, I played a few. I ran track. I played lacrosse, and one of my biggest sports, actually, besides football, probably the one I'm best at besides football, is volleyball. We actually had men's volleyball. I'm not sure if you guys have that down here, but yeah, coming from Chicago, we had like men's volleyball. It was a big thing, and so if you ever need a beach volleyball team, I'm your guy. He can also play too. We're a little bit of a duo on the beach volleyball courts.
We actually have a game tonight.
We do have a game tonight.
Okay,
you're playing volleyball in the middle of the football season?
Don't tell coach.
Yeah, that's under the radar.
Both of you then, like, why football? Why did you stick with football? You had all these other side sports. Why did you stick with that then? If you were so good at men's volleyball.
I just love it. I love the sport so much. It's hard to imagine myself not playing it. So
I am the same thing. I completely agree with Joe. There's such a love for football. It's something you can't imagine getting away from. And so sophomore year, when I realized that, I just realized that, and I said, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to play football for as long as I can. And there's a love for it. There's a passion for it.
I can't let this go by without mentioning one sport. I don't know if you guys will count it as a sport, but Scholastic Bowl. I don't know if you guys have heard of that before.
No.
It's basically like competitive trivia. and I did that in high school too.
Okay,
I
there's
gotta
a lot
shout it
to
out.
unpack here.
I know.
First of all, we need to go back to the lacrosse. Johnny Hodges played lacrosse at Navy too. Have you guys like bonded over that?
No, he would run circles around me. I was very bad. I was, you know, I don't want to say the mascot, but I was one of the character players. You know, I got everybody hyped.
Personality guy.
Yeah, and if they, you know, they needed somebody to get hit
Are you like
pretty
the
hard.
reinforcer, or were you scoring?
Exactly, I was more of an enforcer.
Okay,
if
big
anything.
penalty guy.
Yes.
Okay.
There were some penalties there.
Okay, now trivia. Back to that.
Back to the trivia.
What can you just, what is it first?
So basically, like, it would literally work. So say, like, you and I would be a team, and they would be a team, and there would be someone reading us questions, like long trivia questions about like history, art, science, something like that.
So like real life trivia crack.
Yes, it is real life trivia crack, exactly.
Tell us the weirdest fact you know.
The weirdest what?
The weirdest fact you know.
The weirdest fact I know? Oh my gosh, we might have to wait till
History
after
based.
break for that, so I can history.
You got to
based?
think about this. Do you want to come back from break with it? We're gonna do the singing and the trivia.
You know, I can say one. There was one war, and then in this war, a general, literally from Africa, brought elephants, like to Rome. So like they marched it through the mountains through Rome to use them for fighting. That's if you're gonna grill me on something, that's the best thing I can throw out.
No, that's intense, and I'm glad you know that.
That's like a winning question right there.
I know, it makes me want to have an elephant
Absolutely,
actually.
Yeah.
I'm sure that translates to football somehow.
Very, very much. Very important to know. Yeah.
As y'all said earlier, Joe's very smart. He actually hosts a Scholastic Bowl here at TCU. Occasionally, we will go and play trivia nights. He finds his time, but he's a very smart man, and you know he writes poetry. He's got a lot of things going on for him outside of football.
Do you want to give a speech about Keagan now?
I mean, we already have hearing it. He's the man too. I mean, we're both pretty diverse, interested guys, and I mean, love this guy. He's one of the best singers on campus. One of the best spike ball players on campus, which he did not mention. That is a sport now. You got to talk about that.
Spike ball.
Talk about it.
Spike ball is a very interesting sport because you have to be able to use hand-eye coordination like none other. I started playing spike ball a while ago and with me and my friends, and we really enjoyed it, and so I kept doing it. And so we ended up, like last year, playing a spike ball intramural tournament, won that thing. I don't know. Yeah, we just love playing spike ball on the beach volleyball courts. It's such a fun sport to play. Especially when you're just with all your friends, and yeah, I love it. And he plays too.
NIL spike ball deal coming your way. Yeah.
You know, if there is one, that would be awesome.
We'll get on that. Any more hobbies you want to tell us about?
Nothing off the top of the head. I
That's
can't
it?
lie,
That's
no.
all?
I think we covered a lot.
Oh, okay.
Those 15 that we just unpacked.
Going into like your day-to-day lives, I want you to walk me through just a day where you have practice.
Okay.
Yeah, and you've got to like start beginning, like I don't
Like,
know, your
wake up
maybe like
to
2
go to
a.m.
bed.
to fit all of this stuff in. And then Joe, I want you to walk me through a game day.
Okay. So my days, depending on the day, I'll run you through a typical Monday.
Perfect.
So Monday, actually, let's do Tuesday.
That's what I was actually thinking. The press conference
perfect.
day.
So Tuesdays, you'll wake up for practice at about 5 a.m. You go into the facility, we eat breakfast. We have our meetings, our team meetings.
What would you say is your go-to breakfast?
I think every single morning for the past 2 years in our facility, I have had eggs, bacon, sausage, fruit. Don't forget about the fruit.
Fruit.
And a nice cup of chocolate milk and water. That's my go-to every single morning.
Continue.
So we eat breakfast, we have meetings, everything. Then we practice for an hour and a half, 2 hours, the normal hour time for practice. Then you shower. Me, this year, it's a little bit complicated because I have a class at 11 o'clock. We usually finish practice around 10:30. So I run very fast downstairs, shower, get my food, and run to class. I'm in class from about 11 o'clock.
Now, wait, do you actually mean run, or are you scootering?
I'm running. There's a lot of
Okay,
people who would
okay.
scooter.
Just checking.
Unfortunately, I don't have one.
You don't
yet.
have one. Okay.
Maybe someday, but
Continue.
I go to class from about 11 o'clock to 3:30 every day, or Tuesdays, and then come back. I do homework for a few hours, watch some film, and then go to bed as early as possible for practice the next day. And so just, I mean, like we said earlier with the high school schedule, it's similar. I mean, it's a lot more tedious now because the coursework is harder, football practice is harder. But same thing. I mean, you wake up, you do football, then you do school, you go to bed and do the same thing the next day, and it works.
And you're kind of monitoring yourself. In high school, it was like your parents telling you, "Oh, we got to get the homework done before we play video games." Now it's all you, big guy.
It is. It's difficult sometimes, but you have to be dedicated to both football and academics, and it works out. So
sounds like an awesome Tuesday. Joe,
day in the life.
Your go.
Okay. Game day. All right. So getting in from the hotel, go in. You have to tape up first. That's most important.
We need time codes.
Time zone?
Do it for like this Saturday's game, like a 7 p.m.
Okay, so a 7 p.m. game.
When is the alarm being set? Most importantly, we'll start there.
Oh, I'm not waking up by an alarm. If it's a 7 p.m. game and it's like late, I'll let myself sleep as much as I can.
Perfect.
But okay, so around 4:30, I think. Again, I'm a little on the spot with the time, so don't quote me. But get in. Got to go tape right away because everybody is trying to go tape at once, and so being the first one there, you get it out of the way. Then after that, get a quick warm up in, and then we're outside, warming up on the field. Also have to get the swag right. I have to get arm sleeve, left arm sleeve every time.
Okay, is that like a superstition?
Not so much of a superstition, just Stefon Diggs does it, and I love Stefon Diggs, so that's pretty much
Are you left or right-handed?
I'm left-handed.
Okay, so you're letting everyone know this is your hand.
Pretty much. Maybe I should write that on the sleeve or something. But okay, and then from there, there's a warm-up, just initial, there's no structure to it yet. I'm just getting myself ready. Then more and more people start coming out until all the coaches are out there, and we start our real practice warm-up. We go through stretching, then we do skill
that's that
drills.
line we see.
Exactly.
Okay.
It is very chaotic, but pretty controlled. We know exactly what we're doing, where we're supposed to be. Then we get run-throughs ready, so just going through plays and stuff. Then we do a quick field goal, run inside, cool down for a little bit before the game, and then we run out. Game happens. Hopefully we're scoring a lot. The last game was real nice, so hopefully we have a performance like that again. Then halftime, come back in. They have a lot of food for us, which is really nice. Bananas, peanut butter jelly sandwiches. Eat for sure. I'm always the first one to be looking for something like that. And then second half, hopefully win the game, or we do win the game, as it hopefully will be. And then after that, we go back in, sing the fight song. We actually sing Riff Ram Bazoo with Sonny Dykes. He always gets up on a table or something and yells that out. It's very fun in there. Everyone's throwing water bottles around and stuff like that. And then break down, and usually they have some kind of food at our locker for post-game too, which is nice. They had Heim most of the time. I think this last time was Hawaiian Bros, but yeah, that is always a must need. And then I'm going out. They give us protein shakes. I take one extra for my brothers to have.
For the road.
Exactly. Yeah, one or two maybe. But yeah, and then hopefully go to bed after a win.
Important question. Does the arm sleeve change colors based off of what jersey you're wearing?
Yes. It's actually very detailed.
Yes.
Well, it does change. It's more I see what the combination is, and then I just think which one would be best.
Are you a contrast guy? If you're wearing a dark jersey, do you want a white arm sleeve?
I think no.
I want to blend it all in.
I think I want to blend it. We did white, black, white. Mm-hmm. I did the black arm sleeve, so it was kind of 3 layers.
Yeah.
Have a song that you must listen to? Obviously yours is the Dancing Frog song, but Joe?
A song that I must listen to, I guess Red Snow by G Herbo was one that always gets me amped up. But actually, now that I think about it, the one song that I listen to almost every time before I go out on the field, the last song is the theme from Friday Night Lights. I have to watch it. I started that in high school, and it just gets me nostalgic, gets me going, and that's always one I have to listen to.
Keagan?
There's actually not a specific song that I listen to, but I will say something that's different from a lot of people is I listen to country music instead of rap music before the games. It doesn't necessarily pump me up But I mean,
Does it calm you down?
Yeah, maybe
Like
a little
settles you a little bit.
I
Maybe
really-
the rap would just be a little too much.
Right, yeah. I really enjoy country music, and so I listen to that before instead of something that I don't necessarily like.
Just to fit in.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So I love it.
If you guys, this is like, we're full 180 now. If you could pick an animal to be, who would you be? And remember, like, these animals have personalities of their own.
So you
if
have to
say,
match
like, a
it to your
dog,
personality. It
I
says
want
a
you
lot
to,
about who
like,
you are,
say
so
the
you have to
dog
be very
type, too.
careful.
So
Yeah.
this is like really important.
Yes, very important.
You start, Joe.
Okay. I think I'm gonna say eagle, because they're really majestic. They can fly everywhere, and I feel like they live among animals pretty darn cool lives.
Yeah. You know who hated eagles?
Who's that?
Benjamin Franklin. I learned that in class this week.
That's why he
That's a
wanted
cool
the
fact.
national
I see
animal
on
to
your
be a turkey. Actually,
Yeah,
yes,
you
yes,
knew it.
yes. I
Trivia.
did. I love it. I love it.
Go, Keagan.
I also would say I'm with Joe on the bird animal.
Okay.
I think, you ever seen Rio?
Yes.
I think I'm gonna go with a blue macaw, because if you've seen the movie, they go through a lot, but they end up being like very free, and they can
Yeah.
fly, and they just love their lives. And so I like the idea of the bird that Joe came up with the eagle, but I'll be a blue macaw.
Majestic all the way
Maybe
around.
that's the song that we can sing after the break, is like the Rio theme song or something.
We'll see.
Okay.
We as in you're joining in.
No. I meant
Oh.
we.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't mean we.
Neither of the hosts are gonna join it.
No.
We'll convince them. We'll
I'll
convince
leave
them.
that to you. Okay. Another fun question. If you could pick one superpower, what would it be? And then who would your sidekick be, and what would their superpower be? So first of all, what would your superpower be?
Wow, that's actually like a lot. The second half of the question kind of
Yeah.
hits. I'm gonna answer the first half, and I'll have to think about the
Yeah.
second one.
We'll
The
do first, you first, and then we'll go second.
Good
Okay.
idea. I would definitely say teleportation.
Okay.
Like if I could be in class, stressing on a test, and literally go, I'm in Fiji right now on a beach. Oh my gosh, that's not even close.
Okay.
So I was actually asked this in a class not too long ago, and I didn't want to come up with a normal answer. So I
Okay.
started looking, and I found environmental adaptability. And what that means is basically wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you can adapt to the environment around you so that you basically never get hurt. If you fall from a very high place, your body's able to absorb the fall.
You just become concrete.
Yeah, well, maybe not concrete because that would break when you fall, but something of the sort to help you out. Yeah, there you go. Your body becomes wind. So that would be my superpower.
Okay, so what would you become on the football field? Like someone's coming at you. What then?
The Flash?
The
Is that a good
like
answer?
grass?
Yeah.
Do what?
Or would
Flash.
you become like
You would blend
grass? You
in.
could be like grass though too.
Oh, I thought she meant a
Well, then
different
you'd get
superpower.
stepped on, yeah?
Probably.
I don't know when would this be useful?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of scenarios, like underwater. If you go underwater, you can't breathe. And so you would, basically form gills so that you could breathe underwater. And that was my explanation that I used in class.
How
Okay.
often are you in water though?
I'm in water a lot. I love to swim. Being
Okay.
from Texas, it's always hot. So
If I could grow gills, I think I'd be in water a lot.
I agree.
He also did swim and dive in high school. He forgot to mention.
Right, I forgot about that part. Okay, who would your sidekicks be, and what would their superpowers be? You can make it go along like with your teleportation.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm just gonna have Keagan, along my side if I got to pick on the spot. And I think I'm gonna be selfish. I'm gonna want you to have healing powers so that if I get hurt, you can just use them on me. So yeah,
Can I say the same thing?
I think that's a good idea.
I think for a sidekick, let's see, what goes well with my environmental adaptability?
Nothing. You are
Absolutely
your own
nothing.
man.
I think a good sidekick would be Joe then. Whatever Joe can do.
Whatever Joe can do.
Joe's intellect. That'll be my sidekick.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
I,
That is too kind.
I like the bromance you have going on here. When we come back, we've been promised some singing, so we're going to get to that, and we're going to get to a lot more about last season.
John's Grill is the newest venture from John Bennell and the Bennell's Restaurant Group. A ranch-to-table concept featuring food, beer, and spirits from around the great state of Texas. Our menu is designed by Chef Sean Alvarez and features 2 chef-inspired burgers, the Fatty and the Flatty, plus a brisket menu perfect for your casual night out. Fast casual service in a fun, relaxed, family-friendly environment, featuring 11 big screen TVs for you to catch the big game on. Our mixology team has created a craft cocktail and beer menu featuring local spirits and brews from across Texas. John's Grill, home of the Players Club show each week, 2905 West Berry Street in Fort Worth, or online at johnsgrill.com.
You know, we wouldn't be able to do the things we were able to do this year without the Flying T Club. So we got to continue to get people involved. It's more important right now than it's ever been.
Flying T is special. It's the best thing that I've encountered in college. It allows us to be able to offset a lot of the costs that our scholarships aren't able to cover. And people like winning invest in the Flying T Club and NIL.
It's almost a necessity now in the college football world. I mean, you got to kind of invest in the programs, and what you put in is what you get out.
So, welcome back, and as promised, the boys are so excited to sing, and unfortunately, me and Courtney have also been roped into this. So I'll start us out, and I'd like to let you know, as you can tell, I do speak like a man, so I don't have a very good voice.
That's great.
Let's get this started. You are
My fire, the one
Desire.
Believe
when I say
I want it that way.
tell me why,
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a mistake.
Now number 5.
That's all I know.
All we know. All right, perfect. There we go.
They have beautiful voices.
Very good.
Unfortunately, me and Courtney do not. But
Oh, thank you. You guys are too kind. Too kind.
as we talked about earlier, Keagan is going to go on to American Idol. So if you see him, just know that you got the performance here first.
As you can tell, I'm not going to be going with him.
But he will be writing his songs, the poet he is.
Hey, that could
There we
work
go.
out.
We've
That
got a
could work
duo
This could
going.
be like your American Idol intro video. Like now,
Look
here's
how far
Keagan,
we've
look how
come.
far. 2 years ago, he was on Players Club. He was a football player. Now he's a singing sensation.
I would
Yeah.
love that.
I think
Absolutely, the
That'll
next
be good.
Morgan Wallen. So right here, we also have Joe's next favorite thing. Joe forgot to mention he's also a food critic.
I am.
He lives so many lives during the day. I'm starting to think I don't do enough with my 24, and I think he has 48 in a day. So right here, we have some food of the week. As always, John's Grill does specials of the week. The burger of the week is the chorizo cheeseburger, and then we also have the seasoned smoked turkey leg with, I think that is that mac and cheese or cheesy grits?
I think it's mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese and
I think like
fries.
bacon,
Bacon.
bernese on it.
Bacon bits and mac and
Yeah.
cheese.
So-
And fries.
As always, go ahead. We're going to make it
Are you
super
diving
awkward
right
as
in?
you take your first bite.
All right, Keegan, I think we got to give some reviews too. Let's give some live feedback.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
So how do you
Can we
rate
get a
these?
play-by-play?
Is this like a 1 through 10 rating?
No, I do A, like A through F.
Okay.
This is large. Let's start off with that. Portions.
You can
A+.
put the mic down. If you
Yeah, you go first, and then I'll follow you up. Oh, it's my turn now? Okay.
Make sure to chew. Can we get a rating?
A through F.
I'm gonna give this an A minus. Really good. Like that's
Wow. Wow.
B is like average, so A minus is.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you are a tough critic.
Yeah, I mean you gotta be.
Yeah. I mean, this is not just for fun.
Oh no, this is
This
strictly.
is a
This is
full-time job.
strictly business.
Yeah.
You know, Joe's a little more of a food critic than I am. I just enjoy food.
Burger's a burger.
Burger's a burger, and it has avocado on it.
There you go.
I'm gonna give it an A+.
A plus.
You know, I love burgers, and it has avocado on it. So
Absolutely.
what can I say?
I think we go into the mac.
So
and
that
cheese
makes
now.
it healthy though too, right? With if it has avocado.
It gives me an excuse to
Yeah.
eat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It like subtracts the carbs.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I think we go.
Are you gonna get the
Mac and cheese.
now?
Let's do same time.
Mind if I try?
Yeah, no, let's do same time. I'm thinking about getting a little bacon in it too. I think this is a bacon burnt end. What do you think?
Yeah.
I think we're looking at.
Cheers.
Rating.
That bacon burnt end is really sweet, very chewy.
Choo 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 like a choo choo train.
I think I'm gonna go B+ on that.
B+,
It's
okay.
good. This one is like really good though.
Okay.
Is it bad if I say A+ again, Mr. Critic?
No problem. No.
I'm a fan of the burnt ends. Yeah, I'm a native Texan, so what can I say?
Absolutely.
The fries are an A+. I can't stop eating these.
There we go. We got one.
Maggie and I attest. We get the fries
Yeah,
every
we
week.
dig the fries.
They are
big girl
favorites.
dinner girls.
Yes.
Absolutely. We're going to go ahead and get super focused now because we need to talk about last season.
Okay.
Let's go.
Unfortunately, you guys only went to the national championship.
Only.
Only. I don't know. I was just expecting a Super Bowl last season.
Right.
Talk to me about at what point in the season did you start to realize that, oh, we might actually be in the top 10, or oh, we might actually go play for the national championship.
I'm not gonna lie. I did not know that was gonna happen before the season. You know.
Okay.
I didn't think we were gonna be terrible, but I could not have foreseen that. I think the moment where I kind of knew, oh my gosh, something's gonna happen, is the Oklahoma game. We just kept.
I
scoring.
agree.
And I was literally, I was watching it, just what is going on?
I mean, it's Oklahoma.
Right, like that was a school
Yeah.
we're routinely always trying
Yes.
to beat them, and they're the standard.
Yes.
But I mean, when we kicked them pretty well, I was like, okay, this is about to be special.
You're like, hold on a minute here.
Mhm.
So I differ a little bit from Joe. He actually might remember before the season last year, I went to him and I said, dude, we're going to be good. I said, we might have a chance to be really, really good. I could tell when Coach Dykes and Coach Kaz, who I talked about earlier, came in, they completely changed the culture. They came in and we really, really wanted to win, not for ourselves, but we wanted to win for each other. And so I saw this before the season, and I said, you know what? If we're like this during the season, then we could go big places and we can win.
So from the minute you made the Dancing Frogs video,
That's crazy.
it was game
That's
over.
crazy.
A little bit before that. Yeah.
Wow. So that was a celebratory, you'll see this later.
Yes.
And it is true. I can attest to it. He was
Okay,
he was saying
He's
it from
not
the beginning.
lying.
Nope, he's not lying. That's all true.
Okay.
So, Joe, you just mentioned Oklahoma, but highlights, best game, what was the best highlight or the best game, either one?
I mean,
Or was it Oklahoma?
you just can't beat the Michigan Fiesta Bowl.
Okay.
It was.
I agree. I would agree.
Aside from TCU, that at its base was one of the most exciting college football games maybe ever. That was just so cool and so cool to be a part of. The confetti falling and all that, all of that just mixing together, and in such a great stadium too. Oh, that's my favorite stadium I've ever played in by far. It was just really something special. So there's, they all were good though is the thing. We had so many exciting games. It was such a roller coaster. But nothing can beat that. That was just the peak, really.
Yeah, I fully agree with Joe. I would say that the Fiesta Bowl Michigan game was the most amazing game that I've been a part of. I mean, just being able to play. I mean, you hear as a kid, you grow up and you hear Michigan over and over again. They're a historically good football team, and you go in and you play really well, and we go and beat them, and on one of the biggest stages. It was really amazing to see. And like you said, the entire season we had very great games, but nothing really compares to that game last season. It was a lot of fun.
Can I say mine?
Of course.
Baylor, the last play.
Oh, yeah.
How did neither of you say that? I have dreams about Bazooka.
That was special. That was special.
What did you think watching that? That unfolding, what were you?
Well, see, one thing for me. So, I was also that season. I was the backup long snapper,
Okay.
and so when that happened, I'm seeing it happen. We always talk about, okay, we got to be ready for Bazooka if it comes, and it's a very big pressure, high pressure thing. And then I finally see it waved, and I look on the field. I'm like, oh God, is he out? Because if he's not out there, I gotta go. So most likely he's gonna be out there. But if something happened, I'm like, oh God. So it was really a rush. But then I see them lining up, and I actually didn't know this. Griff doesn't set his feet on those. He actually just runs up and runs behind. He doesn't, take his walking steps before. So I was kind of like, oh my God, what's happening? Do we have enough time? And he just drills it, and there were no thoughts after that. It was all yelling.
No steak,
and
no
arms in the
sizzle.
air. Yes, a lot of steak there. A lot of steak there.
Yeah, that game was it was really amazing. I mean, especially that ending with Griff kicking that. I will say, though, we practiced that every single week.
That's what I heard. So that wasn't a lie.
No, that play in particular, just in case, that 1% chance that has to happen in a game where you run off the field as fast as you can and get on it. We practiced it, and we went over it over and over and over again, just for that one thing to happen. And
did you ever expect it would happen?
Honestly, no. I mean, it's one of those things where it doesn't.
So you predicted the natty run and not bazooka.
I guess you could say that, but we practice it all the time, and just for that little tiny chance that it happens. And if it didn't happen, who knows? We probably
just played around for fun. Told your kids about it later.
Right? Yeah, we wouldn't have gotten to the places where we ended up getting last year, and so for that to happen was really amazing, and we really enjoyed that too. Obviously,
it was Baylor.
Yeah,
it was Baylor.
It was kind of funny too. It was kind of funny too because after that happened, a lot of Sports Center guys I heard the analysts and stuff saying, "Oh, that's the kind of play the Union practice at the beginning of the season, but it's crazy that they pulled it off in late season." No, we practice it literally every day, just like you said. So it was very satisfying too to know that Coach Tom Riddall, our special teams coach, is really intentional about everything he does, and everyone loves to look at the play oh wow, look at how great it was, but really I mean it was the work we put in, and he really laid that out for us. So yeah, a lot of credit's got to go to him.
Do you hear "Hypnotoad in a Hurry" in your dreams at night?
Yes, very often, about 1 to 2 times a week, I'd say.
Okay, awesome.
That's my Roman Empire.
Oh, it's mine as well.
With a season like that last year, what are your goals individually for this season and as a team that you've talked about?
I mean, individually, really, it's just, I just want to keep getting better and be the best player I can be. I mean, really, in a season, you can't really focus on yourself. I know it's cheesy to say, but you really have to.
So cheesy.
I know, very. But you have to really be geared towards what's best for the team and how's the team going to develop. So really, I mean, if we're looking for a team goal, shoot, we want to go back to LA. I'm not sure it's going to be there this year, but win it this time. So.
Yeah.
Fully agree. I mean, team goals. I want to make it back to the national championship, and so does everybody else on our team. And that's one of our standards. We say it every day. There's a few things that we say, but at the end, it's win the national championship, and that's our goal, and we really want to accomplish that. And individually, like Joe said, it's a team sport. I want to be the best player I can be, but at the same time, I'm doing it for the team, and so that we can all be successful.
Me and Courtney might just be TCU football's biggest fans. We do a pregame show. I'm sure you've heard about us. We're big time. So every game, we're going down the stats, we're comparing, we're talking about what we can expect. As always, our predictions always come true, but that's not the point. We're looking at these stats and hearing the conversation around TCU, and it's oh, they're not that good this season.
Last season was a fluke. That's the big thing.
But the stats are very different. What can you guys say about that? Because from what we're seeing, this team, as Sonny even said, I don't know if you heard this, he said that this team is the same, if not better than last year's team.
Yeah, I think from what everyone else says, what I can draw from that is it just sounds a lot like what we heard last year at the beginning of last year. I mean, it's really the same stuff. Everyone's saying, "Oh, it's a nothing program." They're not really at the height everyone thinks. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And who's going to be the next TCU? Love to hear all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's the same stuff they're saying last year, and so we're kind of in the same situation. So I'm not going to complain about that. If we're in the same situation as last year, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I think so too. And really, nobody knows exactly what goes on and what we have except for us.
Absolutely.
The team, the coaches, we are all a big family, and we work together, and the outside world doesn't really know what we do together and what we do as a family to accomplish the goals that we want to do. And so we really look inward, and we don't focus on what everybody else says outside of our program, because at the end of the day, it's going to come down to how we think about ourselves and what we do within the team.
Are those stats talked about at all, comparing last season to this season between the players? Do you guys notice that?
I'd say no.
I agree. I would say no, not really at all.
Kind of, again, I'm gonna be cheesy, but worry about the here and now.
So obviously this season, a lot of the conversation in college football has been Colorado. And we can talk about that game in a minute, because I think you guys have a valid explanation for what happened in that game. And by the way, it was only 3 points. Let's all calm down here.
Yep.
But we did see Deion Sanders completely overhaul that roster. And just the season before, you guys had a new guy come in who could have done the same thing to you guys. What do you think it kind of means for the state of college football if that becomes the new standard? New staff comes in, just new roster.
That's a great question.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is.
I can
that
be
is
philosophical too.
Yeah. You are going to be good at your job. I know that. So I will say, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. You know, I mean, a lot of people are like panicking about it, and some people think it's the best thing that's ever going to happen to the sport. I think it's somewhere in between. I mean, one thing that's just obvious, again, I'm going to be cheesy here, but, you know, everything that's being lost is like, everyone kind of forgets, okay, also the degrees matter, you know, like where these kids are getting degrees from and stuff. So I hope that's not lost, but as long as, you know, academics are still being brought into question, I don't think it's the end of the world. Because really, coaches have to deal with that too. When a head coach gets fired, most always, it's not like the rest of the coaches get to stay on, you know. So they have to deal with it too. I mean, I don't think it's that crazy that it also happens to players as well. But I mean, it's unfortunate in some senses, but in some senses, I think it's provides a clean, fresh start.
Yeah, I think with the transfer portal and NIL and all of that, that's fairly new. I think it changes the game of football a little bit, but I don't necessarily think it's a good or bad thing. I just think it's something new that we all have to adapt to. You know, I mean, Deion Sanders came in. I mean, you have to give him credit. He did a great job. That is not the same team as it was last year. And so with this new transfer portal, there's a lot of new people that can come in, new people that can leave, and you just have to adapt to it. And, you know, it's how it is now.
And right now in the NFL, a little bit of an off-topic question, but there's a conversation of turf or grass field. Sonny commented on grass field actually this week. Liked it better, said that you guys liked it better. Is that true?
Oh, it's not even close.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you remember, but earlier talking about the Michigan game, said that was one of my favorite stadiums I've ever played in. It was an NFL stadium, but also grass. Turf is like just so much worse. It hurts to cut on. More likely to get injured. I mean, as long as like the grass is kept well, shout out TCU groundskeeping. Oh my gosh, we have literally like the best grass I've ever played on my life. It's so much better. It's so much better.
I agree. Grass by far. Turf is so hard on your ankles and your joints and everything when you run, but grass, it feels so much better. And again, like you said, our ground screw is amazing, and we probably the best grass. I mean, you'll see Joe actually sometimes after practice just laying down in the grass because I mean, Joe loves the outdoors, and so. But it's amazing out there, and we love grass. It's so much better to play on. You know, injuries are reduced so much, and so grass by far.
I'm thinking about some of that philosophy.
Okay, yeah. Any comment on the big outdoors guy comment?
Need more of it.
Absolutely.
Simply said.
Absolutely. So you guys have a big game coming up. We are so excited to watch you guys play. We're excited to see your little black armband this week.
Yes, I think so. Is it? Oh, it's blackout. Oh, it will definitely be a black arm sleeve. Yes.
Okay. Well, you need to go home and read that binder they give you. So yes, it is West Virginia, 7 p.m. Gonna be a big game. You know, West Virginia always gives you guys a game, but we are excited to see you guys play. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys.
Let's hear at Frogs today. Go Frogs.
Go Frogs.
Go Frogs.